We have been here since Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't left. We haven't
We
left the
haven't
cabin
at all.
at all.
I just got dressed because we've been in pajamas.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about the trip is it's it's a pajama trip because
Right.
we don't hardly bring any clothes, because we're
Right.
not going anywhere.
Except for one or two pieces.
Yeah, the purpose of the trip is to chill out and hang out and do as little as possible. So, doggone jacuzzi didn't work.
Yeah.
We tried to enjoy that yesterday and
Froze our butt off.
froze. It wouldn't get any higher than 92 degrees. So they've got some issues with their jacuzzi. The sauna was good though.
Yeah, the sauna.
Sauna was
That's
fine.
the thing that saved us.
Because it was colder yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah. How'd you enjoy your birthday? It was good.
I really enjoyed my birthday. A wonderful meal
Mm-hmm.
by yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a nice, relaxing birthday that was just perfect.
Did some binge watching
Yeah, we watched was from the scratch.
from scratch. We finished from scratch. That was a good piece. We haven't finished it. We got about 20 minutes left on the last
Oh yeah, but
episode,
pretty
but
much.
the story has been told, and yeah, I enjoyed that. It was a good, heartfelt story. Predictable, but yeah, it was a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So, for folks that haven't really looked at any of our other stuff, we've been married 30 years now, and married pretty young, 19 and 20. And 30 years is a long time
Yeah.
to be married as young as we are too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people kind of look to us, whether they ever say anything or not. A lot of people look to us as kind of that anchor couple that they've just like been married forever, and Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable.
I don't know if you want to mention that one.
Yeah, well, the character.
The character, yeah.
And they look to us for, I guess, stability, not for themselves, but for the institution
Mm-hmm.
of
Black marriages.
black marriage and black love. We're the closest real thing that they have to look up to, I guess. And I had a few people actually say it, but I think we're anchored couple for a lot of people. But what do you think is the most common misconception about our marriage, though? Whether it's about the marriage itself or one of us in general, what do you think is the most common misconception that people perceive about us?
I'll let you go first.
I think that a lot of people probably think I'm very bossy, very controlling, maybe like just like a very stiff person, very stern, because of how I carry myself and conduct myself. I think a lot of people think I'm a certain way all the time, because that's what they see most of the time. Unless you're a really close friend that I feel comfortable around, then I'll peel back the shell a little bit, but most of the time, external people get a certain version of me, and I think they think I'm like that all the time, and they look at you and like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that all the time? That's how do you deal with Mr. Neal all the time? But what they don't realize is, like even at work, a lot of people will call me Mr. Neal. Just I didn't ask for that. That's just what they call me. Mr. Neal. He's always got it together, or whatever. But what they don't realize is that when I get called Mr. Neal at home, it's a whole different situation.
Oh, yes.
I'm being a hard-headed dumbass about something usually, and I better get it together right quick. So I think that's a common misconception, is that they think I'm that way all the time, but really I'm very often the class clown.
True.
Yeah. What about you?
One thing is that we have it all together.
Yeah.
And that is totally not true.
Right. That's correct.
Some days we have it all together, and some days everything is like, what is this?
Right.
What is that? And how do we put this and that together to make that?
Right.
And
yeah. I agree with that. That is a very good one. We've had people say, in the heat of conversation, whatever, y'all, it's different for y'all because you got it all together, and you've always had this, had that.
Nope.
It's not been like that. We are a couple, and we are a family that have challenges and struggles just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how good it may look from the outside, there is a lot of work that goes into having a successful family, and we are just willing to do the work,
right,
again and again and again
and again,
because it's not just a one-time fix.
Right.
It is a constant journey of adjustments, small course corrections, sometimes large course corrections,
right,
in order to meet the desired outcome. Because in the end, that's what our lives are. It is the culmination of the choices we made, the actions we took, the actions we didn't take,
right,
the decisions we made or didn't make.
Right.
And so as a forward moving entity, that is our marriage and family, I think that we do a good job of making good decisions overall. Sometimes we bump our head on the same stuff over and over, just like everybody else.
Right.
But as it pertains to the big ones, I think we do pretty good, because I look at the whole picture. I'm zoomed out most of the time, looking at everything. You're zoomed in, looking at bits, and you're looking at the different sectors. Sometimes one at a time, sometimes simultaneously. You're looking. You're at this level. I'm up here, looking at the whole lay of the land, and so I think that combination allows us to not fall into just some of the traps that people can find themselves in, where it's like, oh man, shoot, how do we end up here again? But again, like I said, we've done that too. We've been, we've been in debt, out of debt, in debt again, out of debt again. We know how to do it.
Because the reason why we know how to do it is because we have bumped our heads so many times,
right,
that we finally realize, okay, we ain't doing that no more. It hurt.
Right, right.
But it's not because we just all of a sudden we had good ideals and we came together and we just made it happen.
Right.
That is not the case.
Right.
That is totally not the case. We just learned how to do all of the, just like a car, you have to do the maintenance on to keep it running correctly.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned how to, through trial and error and hoopties decisions, we've learned how to go ahead and do the maintenance on things before they get out of control.
Right.
And that by itself has caused us to appear, I think, to look like we know what we are doing. And that it depends on who is viewing it at that time.
Yeah, they look at the results and think, wow, they must really know what they're doing. Yeah.
Because you might get a different opinion from our kids that stayed with us, that know us. Yeah. And you might get a different opinion from me on certain days. And you might get a different opinion from Mike certain days. And you might get a different opinion from the people on the outside, Yeah. So, and not including our parents and relatives, Right. So I just feel like, that is a very big misconception, that we always have it together or look like everything is going like it, going perfectly all the time, because it isn't. We just have a way of camouflaging things until we can, fake it till you make it. Until we get to that point where we have fixed it, or we have come to the promised land, of things. Because, each day is a day of puzzles, a bunch of puzzle pieces that we have to put together. But being on one accord, when we know what to do and when we don't know what to do, has really helped us to have the image of, I guess, what you would call a good marriage. We do have a good marriage. I'm not saying that we don't have a good marriage, but what I want to stress is that it's not like this all the time.
Right.
And it didn't just happen.
Right.
There was a lot of work involved in getting to this point. We're at 30 years, and there are things that we feel from our point of view that is perfect. It's perfect for us. Yeah. But someone else might come along and be like, no. Right. But it took a lot of work. Just think about it. We were 19 and 20. We were still young kids getting to know each other, and everybody know that, the first few years of marriage is very hard. Taking one person's lifestyle and how they were raised, and and the things that were instilled into them, and joining it with someone else with this, with their life and how they were raised, and doing it together and trying to become one is a lot of work.
A lot of work. Yeah.
And if you're not willing to put the work in, then sometimes you can see the output of it, because it doesn't, it looks like, what the mess that what's this y'all got going
now
on?
That couple over there, they ragged as hell. Yeah.
But I feel like, that is one of the misconceptions, is that we have it all together, and
we've arrived and we've just got it all together.
And we haven't.
That's right.
Every day is a
is
new day of challenges and struggles, and we just have to figure out how to get the pieces together to make them do what they need to do, so that we can continue this marriage journey.
Yeah.
Because, storms will come, and different seasons have different challenges.
Yeah.
We have been through several seasons. I mean,
in 30 years, it's safe to say we have we have bumped our heads on just about everything.
Yeah.
Anything you can think of,
We,
we've experienced it.
right.
And you just, let your imagination flow there.
If you just learn how to, I like to give the example, the illustration of, sometimes you have to go through storms and just hold on to each other until the storm is over, and then you pick up the pieces that are left,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep on going.
Yeah.
And you add them to the things that you continue to make through life.
Right. Cool.
Some things you have to let go, just let die.
Yeah.
And start over.
Right.
And I think it's good to recreate your marriage, every season or something.
Mm-hmm.
I believe seasons come to recreate things.
Yeah.
And to allow you to let go of things.
Right.
And it's okay to, to continue to start over again.
Mm.